Hi, my name's Graham Abbott. I'm the owner of Matitiyahu, Matt, my lovely old gaff rig. So Matitiyahu means gift from God. This gift has been given to me with some or other, lessons to be learned along the way. I bought Matt 4 years ago on a whim. I saw it as an ad on Gumtree, and I'm quite, what's the word, spontaneous. So I decided, well, maybe I'm having a bit of a midlife crisis. I'd sold my house and I decided, well, I want to go do something fun and exciting with my life. You know, you get to 50 something, 54, 55, and you go, well, I've still got some life left to me and I want to go and have an adventure. So I decided to look around for a boat. I had a look and I saw one on Gumtree, a lovely looking boat. Looked like a pirate ship. I thought, that's it, I want that one. So I phoned up Jerry, the owner. So I went up to go and see the boat with him and fell in love immediately with this boat. It was like, an original, old-fashioned looking pirate ship. And I thought, well, I don't know much about boats, but this looks like a kind of boat I'd love. It was built in Knysna Forest with all the local indigenous wood, and it's like a tiny home on the water. It's almost like another sustainable vessel that I could travel the world with and have as a base. And yeah, that's where the journey started. You know, I didn't know anything about sailing. I didn't know anything about anything to do with the sea besides the fact that I wanted to go see the world. So I should have had a survey done on the boat, which I didn't, but you know. And what actually happened over time is sometimes friends would call me up and say, "Can we go and stay on your boat?" I said, "Cool." And they left the shore power on, which I realized afterwards was somehow shorting to the body of the steel hull, and that made it rust a lot faster. So when it came to the day that I needed to go take it out for a bit of a survey to check, we realized that it actually was rotten. It had rusted badly and almost sank. So that's where the whole adventure started. I had a lovely boat and then it became a liability. Ha! I got a space at the dry dock just outside Port Owen. There's a place in Velddrif that takes boats out. They take the trawlers out. So I made a booking, managed to get the boat going, and we needed to go check out the hull because it had been 2 years, and you should take the boat out every 2 years, I've heard, to go and have a look and see if the hull's in good nick. We got it out, sprayed all the barnacles off, and realized that, it wasn't in such good condition at all. It was actually quite bad. There's one spot where one of the guys pointed at, and we pushed in the hull, and what happened is his finger went right through, and the water came out. It was like, oh boy, okay. So I had to go and have surveys done. Our first survey said 250,000 Rand to cut all the metal out that was being rusted away. And so I couldn't do that. I didn't have that money. So I met a guy called Gert Brouwer, lovely old man. He came up. Everybody was talking about this boat that was, supposedly going to be sinking any minute. So there were crowds. And he came along and said, look, there's a thing called a doubler. What you could do is, instead of ripping out the whole interior, which is beautiful, the whole boat was built in the Knysna forest out of local indigenous wood. So I would have ripped the whole inside out to do it the correct way. So what we did is we did a thing called doubler, where you cut the metal plates that you stick on, the 5 mil plate, onto the outside of the hull, and you just weld it on 10 centimeters broader than the spaces that was supposedly meant to be cut out. So, long story short, with a lot of sweat and tears and choking on smoke and fire and trying to not have the thing catch alight, we managed in 10 days to cut everything out, weld everything on, spray it back down to metal, and paint it again. Yeah, it wasn't much longer after that that things started turning around. The world went a little upside down with COVID. And when we got it back in the water, lo and behold, the water was still running in the boat. So that was a bit of a downer. We just had to then put a pump. And now for the last 2 years, it's had a pump with a little flotation device, which whenever the water fills up to a certain level under the floorboards, it pumps it out again. But it could sink at any time, and there's always a worry that it could have sunk or could still sink. Gert Brouwer was going to do the whole job properly by putting the metal plates on and then spraying the whole thing with polyurethane, which was an idea he had. And polyurethane is like a shell that you'd put on the whole outside of the boat. And that would be a way around getting around having it past the legal requirements to sail it. So at the moment, we're still sitting with a boat that's not properly done. It's only just been painted over the metal plates. It has to then come out again now and be surveyed, have all the barnacles sprayed off again, back down to metal, checked, surveyed again, and then coated with polyurethane, which will then hopefully get us legal enough to get it down to Gordons Bay, which is going to be the next harbour. We've got to a point now we have to move forward fast, and I need to get it out to have another look and see where is the water coming in. What the plan really was for me is to change the name to Truth Seeker, as I have been learning a lot about many different things in my life, and I've realized there's a lot of truths that are not heard about health and about healing and about the world as we know it. A lot of it's not actually the truth, and I'd like to have a vessel that can teach people skills development. It can also be a broadcasting station from where we can tell people, have a little podcast come online station to teach people things and learn and share knowledge. And that's where I'm hoping to go with this. I think it's a wonderful vessel to actually have youth learn about the skills of how to work with solar, how to work with renewable energies, as this is where the world is going. We need to start thinking about becoming more self-sustainable, and I think a little boat like that is a perfect little microcosm of a self-sustainable vessel and a self-sustainable way of life. Yeah, it's going to be a great adventure, and let's see where it goes from here. But I need your help. We need people to come on board. We need some Patreons, because I don't have the money to make this dream come true.